Hi, this is Orina, and welcome, Ron. Ron team is with me.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to be here. It's fun. It's great.
I'm really
already.
Yeah. We have a journey ahead and adventure ahead. We have 1 hour, and as we said, it's or for me at least, it will be a great challenge to dive into today a practice or maybe a philosophy, a perspective that we can take on life, that you teach and you actually live with or by Qi Gong. This is what we'll talk and touch today. I would like to just make a small introduction. Usually the podcast is in Polish, but I have a great privilege to talk sometimes with specialists from around the world as well. So today we will be talking obviously in English, but for everybody, and maybe I'll just repeat it in Polish in a second, but for everybody who will want to listen to us or read us in Polish, there will be subtitles on YouTube available. So I'll just say it in Polish. Dzisiaj nagrywamy odcinek w języku angielskim, ale dla was wszystkich, które chcecie posłuchać nas i przeczytać, napisy będą dostępne na nagraniu na YouTubie. A teraz wskakujemy w świat Qi Gong, daoizmu, filozofii, perspektywy, którą ta praktyka daje. In my opinion, so now jumping back to you, and I don't know if you agree with me that actually Qi Gong actually is a very holistic approach, very integrative approach in itself.
Absolutely. I mean, I was just surprised. I mean, you chose nice words, but you used like 3 or 4 of them, like a perspective, a philosophy, a practice. And in the end you said but actually it's what you live, right? So
this is what actually shapes us.
And I'm happy I don't have to say what it is. I mean, so
did I just mention by accident what Qi Gong is? Like, how would you describe it? No,
not what it is, but what is it in this? Is it a philosophy? You've said philosophy. Is it a perspective? It is. Then what's a philosophy? But you say philosophy, you said perspective, then you said, of course, a practice. So I refer to this as a practice.
Physical practice?
Practice. So these are all the questions. No, I don't divide it. So, and then you said, actually, and that popped up in your mind, but actually, that's what you live, right? And you talk to me that's what you live. Yeah, that's what I live. So is it a practice? Is it a physical practice? Is it a philosophy? Is it a perspective?
Would you say
that's what you're living? Is your life a philosophy? Is your life a perspective? Is your life a practice? And is it just a physical practice?
Oh my God, we're jumping already very
sorry
into
for that.
the essence. No,
sorry
it's great.
For that. Yeah, but for me, it's very important that the practical part. So more than it is a practice, also it is practical. So practical means it's something you can do.
Okay, so there are guidelines.
There are guidelines, and more so they are methods, but more so they are doable, because you can have guidelines and methods and even exercises or philosophies or perspectives or ideas, but they are hard to do. They are so complicated, or in your day-to-day life, how you do that, But you said to me, but actually it's what you're living, right? Yeah, I live that because it's possible, and it's not a great thing.
So
I'm not
would you say
wow.
it's like a philosophy applicable to life? So there is like a bridge between perspective.
I would not call it a philosophy at all, but I'm not the kind of I'm not a fan of philosophies or whatever, because they miss for me the whole practicality.
Okay.
Not just the
because
practice.
then becomes a theory.
Not just the practice, the practicality. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you really do it? Or you have to be talented, or you have to have 20 hours time each day, or you have to be young, or you have to be sportive, or you have to be whatever, a super good human being to be able to do it.
But could you say
this everybody can do?
Qi Gong practice is actually a practice that can take 24 hours a day.
Yes, it can, and it's very easy. I just coming from the workshop in Dansk, where I was teaching.
I didn't introduce you even. I'm so sorry. Like properly, I said. Ron,
I don't know what you got to do.
Sorry.
I'm fine with that.
No, because
fine with that.
We jumped already into. But obviously, you are a teacher and you are a founder of Path of Tao. Is it an association?
I don't know what the association is.
A school. It's a school.
Yeah.
Based in Switzerland and in Poland.
It's about learning, so call it a school.
Okay, but also I would like to mention that we will touch upon a subject that is very interesting, and very interesting. A subject that we are touching upon soon in our foundation on Integrative Medicine Congress that we host once a year, and it's going to happen 15th of March, and you will be one of key speakers, and we'll talk about longevity. Qi Gong is known for longevity, but we had a long discussion before how to really live it and how to understand it.
Yes. How to understand it.
Yeah.
And by this, of course, how you live, right?
Yeah.
It's tricky with the longevity thing.
So, actually, for those of you who are interested, we open really an invitation for 15th of March in Warsaw, 2025. But we'll touch upon this subject now today. But coming back to living.
Qi Gong.
Qi Gong. Living the practice.
Yeah, so I was just teaching, and this was a beginner's class. The topic was not even that. We had another topic, but of course I cannot teach Qi Gong without mention breathing. And we have whole classes on breathing.
Why?
How to breathe proper. Because it's so important.
Why?
Breath is life. And it's not just life, it's how you live. How you breathe is how you live. So if we come to longevity already, if your breath is very fast, your life is very fast.
True.
If your breath is very long, your life is very long. But wait a minute, everybody will be a fan of this. Yeah?
No, of course. Now,
because we had our talk before, right?
Of course.
We had our talk
Taking
before.
Notes
what do I mean by your life will become very long? Yeah? And then everybody will go like, oh, then you live long. I mean, in years. Yeah? If your breath becomes very long. And this is understood like that, and it's promoted like this. And for me, it's okay. I just don't want to promise somebody and not myself like a long life. Sorry to crash the party, but I have experienced, we talked before, you have had experienced, there is nothing that grants you a long life.
Yeah.
So we have to talk about what means long, what means longevity, and what do I say when I say, if your breath is short, your life is short. If your breath is long, your life is long. Yeah. And people will understand it in a linear way. Oh, you don't live long, you live less years, and then, oh, with a long breath, you live long, you have more years. No, your life becomes long. Your life stretches out.
But we're not talking about years. We are talking about a feeling.
I talk about days. I talk about minutes.
Exactly.
I talk about seconds.
Exactly.
Yeah. That is hard to describe.
So
I don't know on a podcast, I don't know on video, how you want to describe that. So the life
to describe it
the life is not stretching out like this. And okay, this is 1 year, and this is 40, and this is 80, and this is 120. It stretches out between 1 and 40, and 40 and 80, and 40 and 120. Yeah. It stretches out there. I don't know if you know what I mean. And then
I do.
You describe it to the people, because I can't. That's why we move like this.
Now
I do.
Ron is moving really slowly.
Now that's why we move like this. I was trained then in the advanced training. The master always said, like, you move like grass is growing.
What does it mean?
You move like grass is growing. The grass is growing, but have you ever seen the grass growing? Grass growing.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's English. My English sometimes
no,
is not so understood. But
no, I do understand.
Yeah. So you have the grass is that long, and then, I don't know, by the end of 2 weeks, it's that long. But have you ever seen the grass growing?
So is the purpose of practice, okay, one thing, I have two things. One thing is quality for me, when you talk about it.
Yeah.
This is first thing that comes into my mind.
Yeah.
It's quality, focus.
Yes, it's more focus, and by this comes quality.
Yeah, but also second thing is slowing down, helping these focus and quality enter.
Exactly, and that's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
Yeah. So you said, it's about quality. Everybody will understand that. Oh yeah, quality, the nice quality or whatever. But it's not even nice, just the quality, certain quality. And that quality comes into your life. A good quality, a bad quality.
But can we have quality?
I don't even know what it is. I mean a quality, not a quantity, because now we talk about the long life also in relation to quantity. That's usually how it comes along. Yeah. Slow breath, long life, or a long breath, long life. Yeah. Short breath, short life. And we think about the quantities, and it's not. Okay,
but what about dynamics also? You know, there is Qi Gong is, I think, for those of you who have encountered, or at least even seen pictures or videos, I think it usually comes across as a very subtle and slow practice. Does it have that also dynamic quality to it? Are there movements that are faster and more dynamic also to it?
Sure.
Because I think, when we talk about quality now, that is a very interesting subject. Keeping focus and quality in fast pace is also possible, I guess.
Yeah, but it's possible. This is our method. This is our training. Maybe there's something else. I not studied something. I studied that throughoutly.
Yes.
That's why you move slow. You move slow to put the quality and the awareness into your motion. And when you have it in the slow, you also have it in the fast.
Okay.
Because you build it in.
All right.
We talked about bodybuilding, remember?
Yes.
That I say, as you described Qi Gong as like perspective, practice, philosophy, whatever, I say it's bodybuilding.
Okay, can you explain more? How do you understand? Because bodybuilding is, I think it's a little bit provocative.
That's why I say that.
Yeah. So if we take it as we see it, we see bodybuilders.
Yes, we see bodybuilders, and that's for us bodybuilding. But any practice builds your body. And here I have to say
How do you understand your body then?
And here I have to explain, maybe not explain, it's not to explain, but what is the body? Yeah, because then if we talk about bodybuilding, and if I say, oh, wait a minute, there's not just bodybuilding, every practice builds your body. Yeah, then we are still thinking about the physical body.
Okay, how do you understand body then?
I not understand my body or the body or your body or anybody's body or body as something physical. I see it in a more physical way. That I said physical. That's the funny thing in English. But from physics. Yeah.
Okay.
So I see it more like a physician. So I think what's the body? It's space.
But I get
body space.
But okay. But
the third dimension.
Okay. Body.
Now it's flat. You add the depth.
Yeah. I have two options, two ways. So first I could understand it as body in space.
No, your body is space.
Okay. Then it means
bodybuilding means
building space. But can I share with you, because there's one thing that made it some years ago when I started to be interested in health building, health education, everything that is connected. For those of you who may not know, I have a foundation that is, we have a foundation as a collective that promotes holistic approach to health in Poland, especially. But when I started to get interested and kind of hooked by these endless amount of possibilities, perspectives that actually come to one, traditional Chinese medicine was a very powerful tool for understanding for me more. So actually understanding space, energy, and matter, I got closer to it, seeing it as one, that they're not separate things, through Chinese medicine.
Okay.
So as
That's
I understand
something, okay.
That, and it's like, well, one needs a great master to explain it.
Because usually Chinese medicine, you get your needles, you get your herbs, you know.
That's it.
That's it. I don't know where you contemplate about space or something. Totally, I agree, you know. But the roots of what you talk about of the Chinese medicine, that comes from Taoist practice.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
But it's for me,
and that
it's
you can
art.
find it in Chinese medicine still. That means you have a really good practitioner. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm saying hello to Dr. Yair Maimon. I told you about him.
Yeah.
Amazing
so
doctor.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely.
But it's about, for me, really art of living, and
yes.
And I actually wanted, because I have this in my mind still, to ask you about Qi Gong also, and education. So how much is it?
Give us a minute for the space and the time.
Okay, sorry.
Please, really.
You see, I'm a rusher. Like
I will round it up. No, I just want to round it up because
sure,
that was a nice thing.
Okay, okay.
Short breath, short life.
Yeah.
That's what they say. Long breath, long life. That's what they say. Now, many agree on that. Yeah. Science agrees on that now. Yeah. The yogis, the Hindu philosophy agrees on that. Yeah. So they have the importance of breath. They have the importance of lengthening the breath. Yeah. Extending the breath. They have the importance, they say your life is measured in breath. Yeah. When we talk about longevity, I said, like, when does longevity starts? Yeah. From where it starts and when does it end, longevity, you know? So, but they say your life is measured in breath. So whatever, you have 2 trillion breaths to take and that's your life. That's very interesting, right? That's much more practical and much more decent than the years. Yeah. So, but no, you have this and this much energy. You have this and this much breath. And when that breath has taken, that's it. So then it plays a role. Is your breath is short or long, extended? If your breath is fast or slow? So now I say in the Qi Gong practice, we actually build space. We build space. So when you see that, again, physics, and you made that go twisted physics. So, and I know nothing about physics. So, but space is time. Space equals time.
Yeah.
So you can say whatever. I was just in Dansk. You can say, and I don't know, it's 200 kilometers. I don't know if that's true. Yeah. So
yeah, over.
Or you can say it's 2 hours by train. Yeah, because that's what you need in the train for 200 kilometers. Yeah. So space equals time. You can measure space by time. So what does it mean if I say we build space? We build time. So that's when you come to the longevity thing. But then you also understand it that we don't build the time adding on here. We build it within. Because the time is space again.
Yeah.
And I not stretching the time there. Therefore, we cannot talk about that, yeah? I stretch the time here. Yes? And then you die with 60. And people say like, he was a Qi Gong master. He died with 60, you know. He was just a pretend, you know. He was not a real master. But you stretch the time here.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because that's the only thing that you can do.
How I think we can all relate to moments.
Exactly.
Moments.
Yes.
That are memorable.
Yes.
Like, you know, when you're sitting, I have
Beautiful.
I have a place
Beautiful.
in the seaside by Gdańsk, actually. And it's a very special place for me where I go there since I was born at the seaside. And each time is like my, I don't know, like my charger. Always when I go there second day, I don't remember how long have I been here? How long am I staying? It just
Exactly.
it just dissolves.
Exactly.
These measures dissolve. And I remember so many.
You tap into another time continuum.
Yeah. But there's like, I don't know, sunsets that are just like once you remember this one because you were completely one with it.
Yeah. So that's in meditation what they call absorption.
Yeah.
And there's no time.
So interesting, you know, it's like we can wait for these moments. Like, for example, like sitting on the rock and staring at sun.
Exactly.
But I guess practice is we can provoke these moments.
You can provoke these moments. I wouldn't say that. It's too harsh. You can invite this moment.
Okay.
Because provoking them, provoking them will not make them coming. Yeah, that's like people try to sleep. It will not work.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. It will not work. It's like people try to meditate. It will not work. Yeah, so you can invite them. So then you can ask how to invite them by moving really slow. Like grass grows. You can't do that. You have to practice that. Yeah?
Wow.
So that's when you not provoke these moments, you invite them. So first in your practice, and you have to afford it. So it's not that as a beginner, I mean, you must be the total prodigy. Yeah, you must be the Mozart of Qi Gong or something to rip it off from the beginning. You know, nobody does that. You cry, you shout, you get crazy. You know,
what is the hardest from like for beginners? Just to
encourage everybody. Exactly what we talk about, the doing nothing.
You still do because grass grows, right?
Yeah, but very slow. So I not do this with beginners.
Oh my God,
because they cannot stand it.
For me,
people go jogging now, and they're not just jogging like this. They go 40K or 20K or So if they come to Qi Gong, they go crazy. They're like, okay, when do we do something? When does it start? Yeah, but so that's what we call stillness practice.
Is it the beginning? This is where you always begin stillness
no,
practice? Or
not at all. That's what I say. You can't do this with beginners. So we will have the more abrupt and fast motions in the beginning. All right. So like when you want to brake a car on the highway. Yeah. So you can go full blast on the brakes and the car will come to stop, but it's also dangerous. You lose control. Yeah. You end up in a ditch or you make 3 turns or something. So knowing that, so we make the interval braking. Yeah. So you have people moving quite fast even, and then you put them into stillness. Yeah. Then you have them moving again, and then you bring them back to stillness. Yeah. And they still want to run away.
But they come back.
Some. They're always surprised that people come back. But there's a whole fraction of people that are totally turned off. That's like, no, this is boring. Yeah, this is boring.
It's very interesting, you know, but
because now, just to bring it to that example, the average breath from the average person is 3 seconds long. 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out. That's the average breath. So yeah, it's not when you now sit and breathe. Yeah, just
Now
when
I become
you're
conscious.
not aware. When you're not aware.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will bring that up to 30 seconds. 30 seconds in, 30 seconds out. 10 times. Now, if you talk now about longevity, yeah. So, and then we go the quantity. I'm not the guy that takes it to the quantity just to show how ridiculous this is. Yeah. So now the average person with its 3 seconds average breath is supposed to live 80 years. Now, if you extend your breath to 30 seconds, which makes you quite somebody, so that's quite far, but that's where you can go. Yeah. So that means it's 10 times. So like 800 years. Then you see that's ridiculous to see it in this way. Yeah. But what does happen if I have a breath and the quality of a breath, because that's much more what we work with. So you see, it's very complex because you have all these breath extension methods and other,
and
because I studied a lot and we don't do that. So it's a pity I talk here like this, because then people get the idea, okay, I have to extend my breath. You not do this.
I guess
you move slow.
It's not a purpose.
You make 100,000 exercises. We build your body because it's this body that is breathing. And then your breath will extend naturally.
So where do you put your focus?
Into the body and into the movement.
Okay.
That's also how we train breath. We not breath. We train breath as motion. The motion of breath.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
So
okay,
we will work.
I see it.
We will not work first with the length of your breath, or not at all. We will work with the quality of the motion of the breath,
and also motion of the body. Is that
and motion of the body, because in the end is the body moving. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So if your body starts to move like this, why people cannot move like this? And they cannot. Yeah, I would like to make the test here.
For listeners.
To move slow.
To move slow.
Very slow over a long time, because otherwise how you want to have longevity if you're not slow and long. Yeah. So you can move slow maybe for 10 seconds, but not for an hour. You go crazy. Yeah. So if I have you moving slow for an hour.
For me, super challenge.
Really? You meditate? Come on.
I do.
What is your meditation?
I do, but that's what, I have to throw it in because I had this thought of...
Well, it might be interesting because you might build your little niche in meditation where you can do it. And if I ask you to move slow, you can't do it.
No, because through challenges, we actually come somewhere. And I think, when you said some people come back, even though it's a hardcore practice, it's really difficult. But we come back for something because we felt something.
Yeah.
Because we also felt that going with tendencies burns us out. Or usually, okay, so I am a rusher in my constitution, I think.
Don't ask me.
And that's why, so that's why nowadays I'm really I really went back to like routine with meditating, or I have been practicing yoga for a long time, and also combining breath and movement, and actually slower, which is yoga exactly, and usually
should be
should exactly. Even if it's a challenge. And even if I make myself do it, like I really feel like I have. It regards so much of energy to kind of like take my clothes, go to the studio. But it always feels, not always. There's moments, there's days where I feel disconnected, and I just look at the clock all the time and feel like, okay, half an hour. But still, it does something. It moves me somewhere, and I think this is actually what we're longing for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of this connection, with something that is like,
that's the soul thing. If we want to bring that in here, I'm still a fan of bodybuilding.
Sure.
Yeah, however, but that's the soul thing and the space thing, which the body is for me. That this concept of time that we have is not existing there. And we know that. In these moments, we know that. In the sunset moments, it doesn't exist. It never exists. I mean, this is actually... It never exists. Yeah, it never... But from that perspective, if we just
like simplify it
Yeah.
to, everyday life. And taking two moments that are meaningful moments.
Yeah.
That are, a pure connection.
So that's hard to describe, That's why people make poetry, they write songs or whatever, So
but here we have in Qi Gong, we open a door through the body to it, right?
yes, absolutely, because your body is built in the same blueprint.
Yeah.
It comes from there.
It's so nice that you said actually someone could actually enter through poetry.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is poetry in motion.
Yeah. Art in motion.
We just don't understand that. It's so beautiful. What shall I say? It's so beautiful.
But
to watch grass grow is very beautiful. Just, yeah. But your agitated nervous system, your tension in the body will not allow that. Yeah. So and that's where we go. So you will not be able to move slow for an hour. You will not be able. The tissues will not allow it yet, because there's all the tension. Yeah. So that's why it becomes really painful. You will get really pain. After 10 minutes moving slow, after 20 minutes moving slow, you will get incredible pain. I just had this on the weekend. People collapse. They come to me and say like, oh, what's happened with me? I don't understand that. Yeah. Like we do nothing. I had to lie down. I was collapsing.
So from releasing tension.
Yes. Because the system is overwhelmed because you push the brakes.
Oh, I feel sad actually. Realizing like how we are living with
Come to a class. We just had beginner classes. You see it always. If I have a group of 40 people there are at least 2 people that crash down. In a good way. It's nothing bad.
I have heard from my friends who attended.
They like, because the system swaps 180 degree. Boom. So, and because big groups also make the experience strong. Yeah.
Yeah. Group
because we work with that. So now.
Oh, I have a additional question now.
But now let me do this quickly.
Sorry, I need to write down.
Do that. So your tissues don't allow you to move slow for extended time, 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. So you will get spasms, you will get cramps, there will be pain, whatever. Your nerves will not allow it. You will give up. Yeah. So, but these are the same tissues that breathe. Because we consider in the Qi Gong where we want to aim to, you cannot have a long breath if you not have more space.
And if you have tension.
If you not have more way. Yeah. Length is way, length is space. So you cannot you can wish for a long breath. You can pretend that you have a long breath. You will not have a long breath if you not have more space. Now, if you totally tensed up, tension takes space. Yeah. So you cannot have a long breath.
So you cannot.
That's why I'm not a fan of breath extension methods, because you're totally tensed and you try to extend your breath. You know what you do? You tense up more.
Yeah.
You tense up more. You're totally excited and you try to sleep, and you try hard to sleep. You will sleep less. So how can we relax you? If we relax you, by nature your breath becomes longer.
Yeah.
And if you relax more, your breath will become longer.
And it's a totally different feeling to it.
Yes, absolutely.
It's
because now it's not any longer about breath extension. Now it's about the quality.
Yeah.
And now it's not any longer about life extension. And you go like, oh, thanks God, I don't have to extend my life. Yeah. So now you can look for the quality. Yeah. So, and because if all your tissues are tensed, what is breathing are all your tissues. All your tissues have to breathe.
Yeah, exactly. And then actually we can, I guess, it's possible more to invite health and balance.
That would be the next question. What is health,
Yeah.
So what is health? So health is for us, because Qi Gong, or I can explain that here, Qi is the life force, just to make it really simple, and then you can make it really complicated if you go to Chinese medicine. But is that what makes you alive? People say energy, life's force, the force of life. People say breath. The Chinese character also shows breath, steam. Yeah. So And Gong means the practice, or it says work, actually. Or more so, because it's Chinese, so it's tricky, the translation would be work, but what they understand with work also is achievement. So it's something that is achieved by work, because otherwise why you work? If your work has no achievement, it wouldn't be called work. Yeah, you understand? Yeah. Now you can work, have no achievement, get paid, is okay. But usually work means you work on something, you work for something. Yeah. So it's also.
But is there a goal actually to this practice?
Yeah, the goal is in this work. When I say work, means also what you achieve. Something comes from this. It's Qi Gong, work with Qi. So that means your goal is to address the Qi, to address the root of your living, to address the life force.
I thought about goal in this very stereotypical point of view. So, okay, I will achieve, building my muscles or whatever.
Yeah, no, you could say, if it's like this, then you can say like, oh, you address the Qi, you address the life force directly through the practices, Qi practices, life force practices, to extend your life. I know, again, I'm not a promoter of this, I wouldn't say that, but you can. And, but why we talk about that? Because you ask, so, why we address that, why you want to access the Qi, because you just if you address the life force, that what brings life, that what makes things alive. So if you work with that force and you cultivate it also, you take care of it, yeah, you not just appreciate, you validate, you value, that just means you become more alive. You become more alive. Now again, if you become more alive, you extend your life. You not extend here.
Yeah.
You extend in the moment.
Yeah.
Because now I'm sitting on this table and in this conversation, not half dead. I hope so. Yeah.
Doesn't seem like.
But half alive. Yeah.
Are you feeling half alive?
Yeah, because you can be more alive, I guess. So.
Do you think?
But I feel pretty alive. So yeah, you can tell, I guess. So yeah.
Do you feel all?
I feel pretty alive all the time, yeah.
Okay. No, I wanted to ask if there is always like more.
It's not a more for me. That's what I mean. But I see the danger in it. So I don't know if it comes across like this. No, because I talked about, you see the grass growing.
Yeah, I do understand. But it actually stopped me when you said.
So you don't need a firework to feel alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't need the sunset, because sunset is once a day. So once a day you can feel alive.
Exactly. But when you feel the sunset,
but the grass, you like the grass growing. The grass is not growing once a day.
Yeah.
It's growing what?
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
So if you can enjoy the grass growing, you can enjoy all the time.
Yeah.
Not just once a day when the sun comes down.
Okay. Do you experience that when you are more connected to life force? Actually, I don't know, you let more of the life force through your body and through your existence? Do you see where I'm heading?
I know what you mean, and there's always a strange angle to it.
If we're disconnected, if we are just walking as like automatics, if time passes by every day, do you feel that this tube, shrinks? Or it's always the same, like the life force is always in us, we're just disconnected from, or we're not aware of it. Therefore...
This is a very tricky question. It is very tricky. There are different schools, they will say different things. You ask me, and then if they say different things, it's also kind of philosophy, theoretical approach.
Yeah. But from your experience, how would you...
No, it's very tricky. I would say there's two aspects. One aspect is that you open the whole system up towards it. Yeah. Towards the life force, towards the recognition of that, towards the connection, as you put it. Yeah. So how can you connect if the system is not open? Or how can anything connect if it's not open? Yeah. So we have the door here, it's all sealed. So you have to open the door to connect this room with the other room. That's what we do. This is a part of the practices to open the body up. Remember bodybuilding, space building, how you can build space. Open it up, open the doors, open all the windows, take the walls out. Yeah, open that space up. So you have this space building practice. Everything that does it. Yeah, you stretch out the tissues. So you have an opening up. You have an opening towards that will already connect you more to life and liveliness and the force of life. Yeah. So you have that opening, and that's maybe part of that question. That then more of it takes you and more of it comes through you. Yeah. Where usually, like you describe it really nicely, you and your narrow chamber there, and disconnected from that. Yeah. So if you soften the walls, if you soften the tissues, yeah, if you open up the cavities of the body, then that can more penetrate. Yeah, okay. And we know, I mean, other people study other things and they will all agree that we build the aimer. Yeah, everybody has that aimer going on. Yeah, protection. And you harden yourself. Even practices to harden yourself. A lot of the bodybuilding that is done is a kind of hardening. Yeah, so that's why my take on bodybuilding is provoking. Yeah, because like, no, you shouldn't make bodybuilding. Of course, not in that way. Yeah. So, but you always build a body. If you sit 8 hours on the chair in the office, but you build a body. It's bodybuilding. It's bodybuilding. Yeah. If you drink 3 beer every day, it's bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You do bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So what body you build for what purpose? Again, what you're working on.
Yeah.
What is your gong?
Yeah.
So we're working on to open up, but then, so then you open up more for vitality. Yeah. Can you see the grass growing? It's also a metaphor of that because the grass is alive, but do you see the grass as something alive? Yeah?
I do.
If you open up more, then you can see there's life. So when you open up and you see where is everywhere alive, then you have more life, or not? But when you close down, you not see the life anywhere. And isn't it not like it is? Yeah. But once you open up, you see the life everywhere. Yeah. People tell me like, I'm crazy. They do want to live in Warsaw. Warsaw is terrible. This and this and that. You know, for me, it's buzzing. It's full of life. You know, it's full of life. So full of possibilities, yeah, space. So, and this is one thing, but the other thing is really you build up Qi through the practice, definitely. And it's a special, not special, but it's another kind of Qi.
Can I ask you about...
It's a Qi that you get from the practice. The practice builds up Qi. But if you do it in a certain way and you have to know how to do it and so on and so on.
That's what I wanted to ask you, because when you were explaining the practice as, first grass growing, stretching tissues,
opening up,
slowing down, how specific it has to be, or how much do we have to know exact movements for them to call it Qi Gong practice, or can it be like a super conscious slow walk in the forest?
You can do anything and can call it Qi Gong.
Oh yeah, okay.
You can, yeah, but it will not do the job. So it has to be really specific.
But why?
It has to be really specific.
Why?
Because it's not so easy.
But
walking slow in the forest will not be Qi Gong and will not build up Qi.
No.
Relaxing.
But I feel really connected when I walk in the forest.
Yeah, why not? You will have that effect by relaxing, opening a little bit up, having the nice forest around and absorb what there is.
Yeah.
But that's not the gong. The gong also means, or they say fa then, fa means a method. So there is a method. Yeah, you can, you want to build a house. We talk about bodybuilding. So you want to build a house. Now you can say like, I've seen houses. Yeah, like, there's 4 walls and a roof and make a window here and a door there and you can build a house. Or you can study that to build a house. Yeah.
Sure.
Now study to build a house will take you 20 years.
Sure.
Yeah. So, and then to build a house will take you whatever, 5 years, But you can say, but I can build a house. I built a house when I was a child. I had this little thing that I built there, and I built my house. People do that, and it's fine. It's all fine, But it's probably what it could be. Yeah, it's probably not what it could be.
Can you say something about methods then, so we could picture them? How does it? What?
No, to study the Qi Gong that I'm talking about, that does the job.
Yeah.
Which for me is the reason why you want to do Qi Gong.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why you do Qi Gong? Go in the forest, walk in the forest. Yeah. So, but maybe you cannot walk in the forest every day. Maybe you don't live in the forest. Maybe you don't live close by the forest. Maybe you have no time to walk.
Yeah.
But you can still do Qi Gong. Yeah. So we teach you how to breathe. You have to breathe anyway. If you're in the forest or if you're in Warsaw, you have to breathe anyway. You have to breathe 24 hours. So we will teach you breathing methods that will apply 24 hours. So that's again bodybuilding. We will build them into the system.
So it's like,
So if you walk through the forest, you breathe that way. If you walk through Warsaw city center, you breathe in the same way. Because that's good breathing. That's proper breathing, and it's applicable for day-to-day life. That's when I said in the very beginning.
This is actually the beginning of our talk. Yeah.
So we not show you strange things that this is Qi Gong, but it's you cannot use it.
Yeah. So it's actually something that you use.
Things might be a little off and strange. They are not, but they might be a little off and strange for the exercise. While you do that 30 minutes. And with that 30 minutes, you bring it to a stage that you have the other 23 hours, 30 minutes. Yeah.
And how about
bodybuilding?
How about the body posture?
Body posture. That's the first thing we will start with. Yeah. Because how you want to extend your breath if the tissues are not loose and relaxed, and if your cavities are not fully open and extended. Because if you shrink, you don't have the space to breathe. Your diaphragm can't move. Yeah, your lungs cannot inflate because you don't open up. Yeah? So it's all about posture. So we will teach you how to sit. We will teach you how to stand. Yeah, we will teach you how to walk. Literally, it's not because you're asking that, or we have classes. We have the standing Qigong practice. There's a class. We have the sitting Qigong. There's a class. We have the walking Qigong. There's a class. Yeah, these are methods, and you make bodybuilding. And what you build there into the system, you use every day. Whenever you stand, whenever you walk, whenever you breathe, whenever you sit. Yeah.
Is it for everybody?
It's for everybody, yeah. Because why? Everybody has to sit, everybody has to walk, everybody has to breathe. We say there's 5 ways that you train Qigong in. So there is the lying, you do it in lying. You do it in standing, you do it in sitting. You do it in walking. You do it in interaction. And that is all there is. There's no more. And then come people up and say like, oh, but when I do Qigong in the airplane. Yeah. And it's like always like something funny. Like, but if I do it in the airplane, what is when you do it in the airplane? You fly or what? I've never seen somebody flying. Yeah. So what you do in the airplane, I don't know. Either you sit.
Yeah.
Or you lie if you can afford that. Yeah. Or you stand. Yeah, or you walk, or you're in interaction. So you build that. That's the bodybuilding, and that's why you can do it always, or it's always there. Not you do it, you build it in. You have better things to do. You do your Qigong practice because you have better things to do. You want to be alive.
Oh, okay.
You want to see the grass grow. You want to see the sunset.
Yeah. I can see. So
you can do it always, and everybody can do it because for me, it's the other way around. You ask, can everybody do it? I say, everybody must do it. Why? Because everybody has to walk, to talk, to stand, to breathe, to interact.
So it's more, now when you talk, it seems very clear for me that by living detached, by letting ourselves, especially in this world that is really fast, and we sit all the time and we don't move and we eat.
Where the
blah, blah,
speed,
blah.
the fast speed and the acceleration of time detaches you,
yeah,
disconnects you. We have to see that.
Yeah. So I see that now as like obstacles that don't let us experience life like let life just enter your system.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, this connection.
Absolutely.
That's why I wanted.
That's why I stretched that point out. The fast speed is disconnecting you.
Yeah.
The fast speed is disconnecting you. Therefore, if you're a runner, sorry for that, but if you come to our class, you have to stand there. You will stand there. You will not run. You will not run. It will be very difficult, but just standing there will connect you again. Not the running.
Yeah.
And further running.
May connect you to discomfort, for
Absolutely.
sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But you know, I wrote down like some time ago a word that is now coming back to me. It's actually community. So how much? Because you mentioned that group helps. I have another question of
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How much do we need a leader? How much do we need a teacher on our way?
That's when I say, if you want to learn the Qi Gong, you need a teacher.
Okay.
You cannot learn without a teacher.
Okay.
It cannot be a teacher in the internet or on YouTube. Not because they're crappy, just because you need to feel them. You need to feel them. If you come to my classes, people are always irritated, but the ones that come then, they know that already. But newies are always like, because I ask them to come and to touch. And I'm happy I can do this here in Poland, because you cannot do it everywhere in the world. Yeah. So, and even the Catholic country or whatever, but at least the people that come to me, and these are many, I have never seen anybody really like hesitant or whatever. Yeah. So I will have 20, 40 hands on my body when I move, so that people can feel what is moving, and much more, how is it moving and which quality? Because you don't see that. You learn to see that. I can see that. You can see that. You can see the grass growing, but you have to learn that. So now you see what you see when I move. But when I ask you, put your hand there, and then you feel it. And then you learn, when he's doing that, it feels like this. Then you learn to see it. Later you see it. Yeah. And then the other way around, you feel that inside, and you connect it to this motion. So if you see somebody moving like this, and you see right away, he's not really moving there. Yeah. So you learn that. So, but you need to be able to touch your teacher. Now, this is not always the case with the masters in China, that you can touch them, but that's why you have different kind of students, and then usually you have the close students that are called like inside or indoor students in China, like closed door students. So these are the people that are close to the master, and that's why they are close, because there is the whole thing about feel. Yeah. But then the other way around, which you also have as a beginner, the master will put hand on you. Because when we put you in a certain position, you stand there. If I show you a position, then you try to imitate that. It will never be right. It's impossible. You can't do it right, because your tissues doesn't allow it yet.
And it's about...
So I will have to come, and I will press a little bit here and pull a little bit there, and do something here and do something with that, and I will put you in the right position where you can experience the opening of the tissues, and then you can search for that.
Yeah, because I think it's a lot, and it takes time to just develop this awareness, self-awareness of the body, like how it's like
to see the grass growing.
Like I remember myself from years ago. Like I went to theater school that was based on physical theater. And it was a shock for me to experience. We had acrobatics. Yeah. We trained 5 days a week. Yeah. It was a shock. Yeah. But actually, I remember it. It was a shock and terrible. And I remember sweating like hell. But I remember it as sunset, actually, now. This moment of sunset. Like the first shock of connecting myself to the body.
And but then, now I tell you something, a little bit provocative. It's not provocative, it's true. But a little mind-startling. I see people in the class that are total athletes, that do all the acrobatics. They are not connected to their body. Because when you move slow and super slow, and when you don't move, you connect totally different to your body than when you do acrobatics.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's when I talk about the connection to the body.
And longevity?
The same.
Yeah.
Because it's not on the outside. And the longevity circus that there is now, sorry for that, with the hashtag longevity and the life hacks and so on, that is on the outside. This is the extension of life in this way. That is like you do acrobatics, you know, so you can flip through the air backwards, forwards, and you can do this, this, and that. And the life extension that I talk about, the inwards, yeah?
Yeah.
That is, okay, you can flip through the air and you can do it 3 times forward and 5 times backwards and so, but can you just stand there for an hour and don't move? And don't move. And then you really, I cannot describe it in another way. You do the whole extension thing inwards, which is not like that. The system has to flip totally, and that's why you need somebody on your side.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I wanted to actually ask you by the end.
And that's the entrance of meditation. That's the entrance to meditation practices.
I wanted to ask you, I know you say you need someone and you need a teacher, but still, for someone who's listening to us now, is there anything that someone could do to experience connection or this coming home? Slow down and calming the mind and the heart. Mm-hmm. Would you
look for stillness and the moments of stillness? I mean, you will not ever see the sunset if you run around. If you rush around, you will like, oh, it's already gone. Oh, missed it. Okay, tomorrow. Let's see tomorrow. Before you experience the sunset, you talk about that moment, and it's beautiful. You know what you do. You sit somewhere down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, there is no sunset. So now you sit down to see the sunset. But then once a day, you can have this experience. Yeah. Now, you have this experience every day? Once a day?
No, not every day.
See? But there's a sunset every day.
Sure.
So why you don't have it?
Well, there's clouds.
Okay. Something else?
No, of course I'm rushing. I don't remember.
Because you don't sit down.
Of course.
Because you don't sit down.
I don't take time.
Because the sunset is not because it's a sunset. It's because you sit down. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a sunset.
For me, no.
Yeah.
But it's there.
So sit down.
But still, it's there.
So you sit down, yeah, it's there, but not for you.
Not for me.
See? So you can sit down with the sunset. Once a day, you have the sunset. Now, if you enjoy that, but you say, but there are clouds and so on and so on. But you can sit down every day and you can sit down every hour.
Sure, that's true.
So you can, every hour, can have your sunset.
Sure.
And that's what you can do.
Thank you.
Yeah?
Thank you, Ron. Can I ask you at the end, if anyone wants to accept the Congress that I already mentioned, maybe for listeners who will listen to us before March 15 in Warsaw, and it's on our Instagram, social media, wherever, look for it, Fundacja Bądź, so our foundation. But if we leave anyone curious where to find you and where to practice.
Okay, I don't know, I'm not prepared, you see.
Anywhere to search for.
Whatever, Path of Tao.
Path of Tao.
Yeah. So it's English, it's also a little complicated, half Chinese, half English. So Path of Tao webpage.
Yeah.
Check that out. We teach regularly in Warsaw. It's me here and Tomek, a student of mine. We teach regular classes in two places. I need to mention
Tomek Eichelberger, who's gonna also lead a workshop on our Congress.
Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
And we have workshops going on in Warsaw, like whatever, 8 times a year. You have a weekend workshop in Dansk. I just come from Dansk. And there are workshops going on. There will be things in Krakow this year. So, and it's all on the webpage. Go to the webpage and find it out and come along. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was fun. Like always, I want to say.
Yeah.